So I'm gonna keep going on my spiritual experience with a little bit more structure this time. I have some points written down. There were some more things that I wanted to mention. So in my, let's see here, a lot of us who awaken later in life experience like I did in childhood in feeling different and out of place, sort of. I remember I would always question a lot of things, like why people act that way and why that is the right thing to do and why people were doing what they were doing. Like I couldn't understand it like from a pure real way. When I was doing what I thought was the right thing, it felt like I was pretending more, kind of. Like it didn't come from a genuine place. I just did what I thought was the right thing to do in that present moment because that was the way that it was, with nothing real sort of like behind it. And that really came to light after my awakening process. That also made the manifestation of the anxiety and depression that I was in during that phase stronger. Like I couldn't separate the real things from the fake things, and what I was putting on I just felt fake, sort of, you know. When I was like in my early 20s, I'm 26 now, when I was like 22, 23, I was having the normal 20s experience. I was watching a lot of porn, I was doing steroids even, being really focused with identifying with only my body, and I wanted the body to express itself a certain way because that's what I wanted. I felt like I had to put on this kind of thing in order to be complete. Like I was constantly chasing something. I wanted attention, I wanted to be good at so and so. I had to have a partner, I had to have that, I had to have that. It wasn't a sustainable way to live. And all of those realizations, once you awaken, it really takes, it really makes an uncomfortable experience in a lot of ways. But I didn't have people around me to tell me this. So like I mentioned in the last video, that's why other people's stories help me a lot. And that's also why I'm making these kind of videos right now. So I wanted to dive deeper into the actual trigger of the awakening itself, where I had an experience, like I said, I think in February, in March, so it's exactly 1 year ago now, where the trigger happened and I fell down the anxiety hole, like I mentioned. It happened like that. It was a normal day. I was sitting on the couch there watching TV, and I remember I was chilling, I was just laying like this, and then all of a sudden just like that, and I was like, whoa, what? And it was like I saw everything around me going on for the first time. I felt it was like, it's how I explained it as well in the beginning. I told my friends and family, like, it's like I have woken up for the first time. And as I know now, that's exactly what it was. I became extremely aware of being on a planet floating in the cosmos. It was too much. So I would just sit there for months just trying to process this reality. But it was in a state of panic and fear, more or less. So that's basically when the ego started to dissolve, and finding the path that my soul always wanted to go, which has always been there. The soul wants to go one way, but all of these things, like with the porn and the steroids and the body that I was struggling with and trying to keep up with, wasn't the way that that I had to go. It wasn't the right way, and the spirit knew that. So it was like I like to say and put it, it was like when I was having that realization, it was like a bitch slap from the cosmos. Just fucking wake up now. It's enough now. You've been in this for far too long. So I recommend watching my previous video, because I'm gonna go deeper into the points that I was previously talking about. And I also mentioned in that video, I was laying in my bed and I was just shaking and panicking and trying to cry, but I couldn't because I was too afraid. And I mentioned that I was at a point where I was trying to sleep, and I just said out loud, just make me feel as shit as you can, just give me everything right now so I can deal with it. That was the surrendering process. And I sort of knew that's what I had to do, but I wasn't aware of the tools yet to work with his energy. But now I know that was the surrendering process, and that was the toughest one for me, because I didn't know what I was surrendering to except from the universe. But the universe was such a scary subject for me at that time, because I was completely identified with the physical body. So I felt like an ant, basically, that meant nothing in more nothing, and everything was meaningless. But I was afraid of life and death, so suicide and death just terrified me even more, and so did life. My relationship to the world was just a ego-driven thing, and the ego is fragile, so I'm just happy that it happened, really. I'm glad that it happened. In retrospect, I was in and out of different relationships with women where I'm aware now that I was only projecting my own insecurities onto them, and so were they, so it's obvious that they couldn't work. Basically, I was having a bad relationship with myself, which meant I would also have bad relationships to other people, because we are all one. Now I am building myself up, I am working, I am ascending higher, which we all are every day, but from a genuine place. It's not forced by conditioning or false values or anything. I'm just doing what I want to do from a genuine place now, and not just what I think is the thing that I want to do. Like, this is what I want to do. I'm still working the same job that I had at the start of my awakening, which is a lifeguard in a swimming pool. I won't be doing it for much longer. I'm gonna study personal training and life coaching. We'll see how it goes. I'll probably make some videos following my journey and doing that sort of thing. We awakened individuals, we need some sort of outlet and stuff to work with our energy, because now when the Kundalini and everything is active, we have a lot of energy in our temple, so it's important to have some sort of creative outlet and meditate and stay active, because even if you are experienced in this field, the energy can be overwhelming and it needs somewhere to go. It needs to flow and purify it. So I started DJing, for example. I was experimenting with some sort of things just to have the creative energy to go someplace. I was a band kid before. I played a lot of guitar, but I got tired of it. But I've always had a love for music, always. So I started DJing. I'm doing some gigs around town. I'm just doing my thing. Yeah, it's important that we stay active and live life. And now I have, with this sense of safety and place in the universe, which is genuine, we feel that we are always safe doing what we want to do. It's not fear driven. Fear doesn't destroy what we have. In a way, we don't let fear control us. I still feel fear, of course, but now it's like, oh, exciting, life is happening. What do I do? Do I do anything? Do I just enjoy the show and see what happens? Really? And yeah, I wanted to talk more about the spiral that I was talking about, that it's like a flight of stairs that goes like this, and some individuals experience it just going straight up. Awakenings are tailor-made for you to suit your life perfectly. For me, since I was a child, I was always highly aware of his surroundings, and so I was always kind of in tune, but I didn't know what it was yet. So I was going around that spiral slowly, and then the awakening happened and just sent me straight up. So it was like, and now I am sort of like back at the spiral. It's not too much, even though it can happen. I'm still having awakenings to this day, realizations and downloads, but it gets easier. When I was having my disassociating psychosis sort of episode going, it was during that phase, like it was too much for me. But I see now how necessary it was for me, because it fits how this mind works. It fits my life. It has to go a certain way. It's awakenings are never too much for you, even though it feels like you are living in hell. So you are okay. Trust the universe. Trust it. You are safe. You are an eternal being, and you feel it as well. I got this feeling of just eternity, like, oh, I remember now. I remember that there is everything, and it's forever. There is absolutely nothing to be afraid of. Yeah, I'll document more as life progresses. You would never catch me in front of the camera like this when I was unawakened. I was too afraid, really, to express myself in a pure way. So that's something. This is a sign that it comes from a genuine place. Like the hate that we see, the craziness that's going on out there, we are in the middle of a huge shift in the collective consciousness. And I'm excited to see what this roller coaster has. There's so much going on right now that we are in need of going past this now, because we see all around the fear that's being served to us via disease or wars, and now we have the Trump and Elon Musk thing going on, and it's a chaotic mess right now. So it's more important than ever that we stick together and raise the vibrations of this thing. Anyways, that's what I had to talk about today. Take care, and I'll keep you guys posted, see what happens.